Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about changes for Alliance War Season 29, whether, well, they are good, bad, enough, not enough, and so on and so forth. So first thing, and the only kind of major thing really that is changing at the moment, is the solo event update. New tier for Thronebreakers, added Alliance War Health Potions and Team Revives, increased Gold and Loyalty in all tiers, added Alliance War Boosts to all tiers, increased amounts of Crystal Shards in all tiers, added Mythic Crystal Shards and Legendary Crystal Shards. No change to event functionality. Watch out for in-game message. And that is a really good thing, because if we take a look at that event currently as it stands in-game, well, to be honest, from the very start of the event, it was extremely underwhelming and made me wonder what's the point. Maybe if you're just starting the game, but this event doesn't skyrocket the value of Alliance War. In general, we can see that we have, what, in total of 15,000 loyalty in there, a 4-star crystal and 1,000 5-star shards. It's really not good, even for players that have been playing for 2 months or something like that. Keep in mind that it takes about 30 days or 20 something days to earn these rewards, and over the course of a month it is quite a pathetic amount of rewards, even for the newest summoners, let alone for people who actively play Alliance War in higher tiers. So I am, for one, really glad to see something being done about it, because it's making Summoner Advancement look like amazing event, and we all know that Summoner Advancement is about 4 years outdated. So for this point, definitely I'm glad to see that it's going to be better. I'm glad to see that there's going to be a tier for Thronebreakers, and as well as they state that they're going to increase it for all tiers, as in increase Gold and Loyalty, Alliance War Boosts, Alliance War Health Potions, and Team Revives for all tiers. So I'm glad to see that. Tactic updates, fixes, due to bugs, basically, but tactics are back. There will be no changes for tactics this season. Expert map, slow your roll, and that's on attack, and untouchables on defense. And then challenger map, you're going to be able to choose, which again is kind of weird, where in a lower tiers you can pick, but higher tiers you can't. But hey, untouchables reworked. Now you're not seeing double. You really get blah blah blah. All description: whenever the defender triggers miss or evade, they gain a resistance charge, granting 30% damage resistance. Passive effect, lasting indefinitely and stacking up 3 times. Intercepting the opponent will remove 1 resistance charge. Additionally, all evade abilities gain a flat 15% ability accuracy. New description: whenever the defender evades or cause miss or attack, gain up to 50% bar of power over 2.5 seconds. If the defender's evade or miss abilities fail while they're suffering from slow and concussion, they once again gain up to 50% bar power. I don't like it. This seems like it could be potentially new flow wars. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of, passive power gain nodes and stuff like that, especially in war. So we'll have to see how it goes. Currently, however, quite interestingly, we have the high ground defensive tactic, and that has been buffed so significantly that it is really painful. I do hope that it gets reworked by the time we actually see it for Season Wars. But when it comes to this one, I kind of think it's fair that they're using this untouchable, because that is what alliances were preparing for the previous season. And, how well or poorly it's going to work, based on what I'm reading, I'm not a fan at all, especially because the attack tactic, slow your roll, is something that places slow, and because of this node, slow doesn't really do much. Yes, you can prevent their weight, but they're still going to be gaining a ton of power should they happen to try and evade. So it's actually kind of like, I'm not going to say the word, but you know, it kind of diminishes all slow champions, which, you know, I'm sure Kabam's just going to say that, you know, we want to encourage you to use different types of attackers or something. But, you know, we'll see how it works out. Don't want to bash on it too much, and this is what was planned to happen in the previous season. Champion pool is unchanged. Guillotine 2099, Domino, Hitmonkey, Mr. Fantastic, Nightcrawler, Ultron, Spider-Gwen, Professor X, Invisible Woman, and, you know, the lot. You can read it up here. I'm going to go through it all. There are also map changes, and most of them are for expert map, if not all. Yeah, most of them are for expert map. And let's go through them. So, Node 6 now has static defense, Hit Me, I Dare You, and that obviously makes the fight somewhat harder. We have Hurt Locker added to Node 15, Ionized Armor as well, and in general there are actually several changes, and I do like some of them. I do think that they will make some of these fights more interesting, but at the same time, I can't help but to feel that these changes are in an extremely bad taste right now. In a sense that the game is still very much broken, and Kabam has decided to behave in a manner that, you know, everything's working fine. And these node changes definitely make all of these fights harder, just like the ones before that did. And whilst I am 100% for changing stuff up in Alliance War to make it feel fresh, less repetitive and things like that, I do have to question whether this right now is the time to do it. Whether making Alliance War fights even harder, because now we're going to have defensive tactics active. So that alone would have boosted the difficulty of those fights. And then whether it is, again, in a bit of a poor taste. Because a lot of deaths currently in Alliance War are due to parry issues, due to dexterity issues. We still have an absolute ton of champion bugs. Most of the champions now are, for whatever reason, unable to spam special attacks in corner. Ghost still can't face recoil, so on and so forth. There's a lot. There's really a lot wrong in the game. And I can't say that it feels good to see these changes right now. Because it, again, seemingly just diminishes the significance of all the game issues that we are having right now. Now, again, I can understand that, you know, for financial reasons, Kabam has decided to carry on as normal, as if the game was working. But fact of the matter is, it's not. The game's not working well. And when it comes to Alliance War has not been in a good spot for quite a while. These changes are not the changes that are gonna sort out what's wrong with war currently. I do sincerely believe that the entire thing needs a complete update. It needs to be new map, new mini boss fights, hopefully without true focus on a mini boss island, and, you know, just something that feels somewhat fresh. These changes switch up minor parts of Alliance War here and there, make some fights harder. They're not what's needed for the game mode. And it kind of sucks because Alliance War is, well, the game mode I personally care the most. Now, I know I am in the minority of that. I know Alliance War is not for everybody. But for a lot of more dedicated players, Alliance War is what keeps them in game, because that is the only game mode where you are able to fight against other alliances. And it's not going great for that game mode. Hasn't been for last half a year, 8 months. And again, kind of mixed feelings. I'm happy that they're doing something. I'm happy that things are changing. Some of the node changes and making fights harder, I like. But this one, for instance, where they just add cutting wires to make sure that you can't use robot champions, where you need the bleed immunity champions, that type of changes I definitely don't like. And in general, I just don't think that is what Alliance War needs right now. As it stands, obviously I'm willing and I will give this a chance. But when it comes to making Alliance War harder, specifically right now, I don't know if I'm happy with that. These changes are meant to encourage people to stay and play the game. These changes are meant to bring more people into Alliance War. These changes are meant to possibly bring some people back who have left in recent times. And besides the update to solo event, I don't think any line of text here does that. In fact, I spoke with several people who have recently left the game, as in like less than a month ago or 2 months ago. And that is their opinion as well. They used to care for Alliance War, and that was one of the reasons why they left, because Alliance War felt like an abandoned game mode for the most part. And they read these changes and they said they were happy that they had left, because these changes do not encourage them to rethink their opinion on Alliance War at all. I do hope that Season 30 finally would bring something new and fresh. I do hope that at Season 30 we can see complete shift in the direction that Alliance War is going. Because these little patch updates is not what community wants. These little node changes here and there, it's just not good enough, in my opinion. All in all, obviously, there are positive changes, but it still misses the mark to what, in my opinion, is needed for Alliance War. Either way, let me know what you guys think about the future of Alliance War, and specifically Season 29, whether you're going to be taking part in it actively, and what do you think about the node changes and stuff like that. That's about it for now, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about